Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm filming a review in really bad weather and bad lights because that is living in Norway, but we are dealing and it's all good. So today we are talking about, as you might have seen or not seen on the title for this, we are talking about Dawn of the Jaguar by G.C. Cervantes. This is the second book in the Shadowbruja duology because it seems to be over, which is the sequel to Lot of Night, which is obviously the first book in the duology, because a duology means it's 2 books. And this one was being released on Wednesday, so the 10th. I think we are on the 12th. What day is it? It's the 12th, I think. Either way, and this one is a spin-off to the Storm Runner trilogy, which was the first book by this author in Rick Riordan Presents. That was based on Maya mythology and followed like a different main character called Sane. And it's a really, really great time. Do recommend. And in that series, we have Ran, who is a character in this book, who is half godborn and half a Shadowbruja, which is what she still is here. And this is her story and her being the main hero in her own quest, starting these investigations, because there are stuff that happens in the end of the Storm Runner trilogy, which like, I wouldn't exactly, this spoils it a bit, but like you can still read this fine without having read that. But if you want the whole journey for the characters, I would recommend reading the Storm Runner trilogy as well, just because it's a good time and then you get like a whole like kind of 5-book series, even though we do change the main character. But I would recommend reading those as well. But if you really don't want to, I recommend these on its own as well, because you can enjoy the story for what it is. We follow a new set of crew going out on this quest. We don't have Ran like with all of the same people, even though some people of course appear from the first trilogy, and it's honestly such a good time. We have a young hunter trying to prove herself a family, like she's on Run's team for this quest, and she's just hilarious, bubbly personality. Love her, with really, really cool abilities. And then we have a grumpy demon who is really, really powerful and is a demon, so like we're like, can we trust him? Why is he so grumpy? And it's just the best thing ever. And then we have also, of course, some villains, etc., that are very fun and some are just, I was gonna say, chaotic and of course evil. And then I didn't say in the beginning that the first trilogy, as I said, is based on Maya mythology, where this one goes more into Aztec mythology and brings out those elements from that. And I thought it was a really fun, I was gonna say not exactly contrast, but fun like addition to the series, because obviously it's in the same world. A bit like Rick Riordan and all his gods exist in the same world, you know, even though obviously some mythology stems from each other, you know, but you know what I mean. Either way, it's a very, very fun journey. I love following Ran as a main character. She's very, in the beginning, insecure and kind of doesn't trust herself and her instincts, and she has this blog where she blogs about aliens. I get some hate comments there, and it's affecting her much more than she realizes, which is, you know, the reality we live in, where we get comments on all the 100 social media that we now have, and we think it doesn't affect us, but it definitely does. And you know, she's what, I think 14 in this, if I don't remember correctly, 14 or 16, and obviously it would affect a teenager getting these comments. And it's just how that really reflects our daily life, but also her journey and her, she has, you know, these shadow powers as well as these godly powers, and there's a whole like balance of like which powers is most powerful, which one she's supposed to use, which one she's supposed to control. And then she's being pulled towards the dark side because these people, these gods, want her to join them. And it's just very, I always like a little like dark side pull, you know. It's very fun overall, and I think like the story is something that it has everything. It has the beautiful friendship and fun family, it has like a fun adventurous feel, and has magic and badassery and sarcastic and funny jokes, and honestly such a good time. I liked actually these more. I like the character in this more than Storm Runner. I think they were better written, like in a way that I vibe much more with this story. Well, I really, really, really enjoyed the Storm Runner trilogy as well, but I just thought the characters here was much more fun. And I'm just saying this as a positive thing. I think they both are great, but I just honestly like was unsure how much I would love these, because at that point I read like the whole trilogy and I was like, will it be like, you know, enough for me to want to keep going, like, I would have finished it anyway, but want me to like be as engaged with the story, because when you read so many books in the series one after one another, you feel a bit like puff. But it was just a great time. It just made me smile a lot and just really made me feel that this was such a fun story. Now I want more. I want more in this world. I want more with these characters. I feel like that is needed, like, honestly. And I feel like there's still more explore with different characters, and there's always more mythology to explore, more adventures to uphold. And I just loved some of the like the missions to have to go through, because you know, when we're going on a quest, you have to find items, you have to find people, you have to solve this in like many different chaotic ways as it is. And I just, some of the trials, I was just sitting there like, and then they're like, oh, but you can't do this, and you're like, they're gonna do that, aren't they? But it's just so much for the suspense. But yeah, these kind of books are just really my inner child. I would never do these things as a child, but they are very much a speak to me. Like, I love Percy Jackson, obviously, and it's very much in the spirit of Percy Jackson, which is kind of the point of the whole print. But it's like, I didn't read Percy Jackson as a child, but I guess I was a teenager, and he's kind of a teenager, but I didn't read it. I could have been, I was a bit older, but I still loved it. But I didn't grow up with it, I think, in the same way. And I didn't finish the series until very, very much later. And I still haven't finished all the books. But just the attachment I still have to like the whole setup and adventure, just like the whole thing that Rick Riordan has created with this genre. Not other people write middle grade like that, but you know what I mean. It's just there's just something about like, it feels like coming home and just going on an adventure, and you know it's gonna be okay because it's a middle grade, and you know it's gonna be fine, and it doesn't need to like shadow the world or shadow you. But this ride is so much fun. And honestly, these were just so strong, and I'm so happy I read them. Now I realize just how behind I am on Rick Riordan Presents. I really need to catch up, because honestly, they are just the most like best feel-good books. It brings a lot of comfort, even when I'm stressed when I'm on an adventure. Speaking about like how you know it's gonna be okay, it's just still fun and satisfying to see them save the world. It's just fun to see like these, I was gonna say, weird and different kids. It's just, you know, how Rick Riordan sets up his books. I like the saviors, you know. It doesn't need to be, like, they are the cool people. Which is like one of the things I loved about what Rick Riordan added in his books. And here, for example, Ran has like Caesars and stuff, which, to be honest, weren't as prominent in this one as it was like in the second book in the Stormwinder. And I think we could have explored that more. That's all. Even though we did talk about it. But like, I think it could have been a more prominent thing in the story. Oh, there's a bookmark in here. So I forget to take them out of my books. And then I don't know where my bookmarks are, because I just put my books away. And then I don't remember what I read. So yeah. But overall, it's very good, feel good, happy adventure for me. Gave it a very strong 4 out of 5 stars. Very happy to say so. Really enjoyed the first one as well, obviously. They do belong together, and I very much recommend it if this is a genre for you, if you enjoy this kind of stories. If you want a more fun, diverse middle grade and you have a good time. And I think my favorite character was Edison, who was a demon. So yeah, I will leave is it like a tiger emoji? Or cat emoji, because the Jaguar is kind of a cat emoji down below. If you enjoyed this, you should see me in a new video. I want to talk more about like the plot twists and stuff that happened, because there are things being revealed that you don't maybe expect. Even me as an adult. Obviously you can talk about it in review, but I want to say that you have a fun ride ahead of you if you know what's gonna happen. But yeah, see you later. Thank you so much for watching, and you should see me soon in a new video. Goodbye!